Hey y'all, welcome back to the Farmer's Table, where we discuss all things real food, preserving it, preparing it, and enjoying it. Today, I am starting, the next few videos are going to be about Thanksgiving recipes. This week is Thanksgiving here in the United States. It's a big deal in our family. Jeremiah specifically loves Thanksgiving, and so I put my whole heart into making it awesome. Now, this recipe I'm showing you in this video is for jellied cranberry sauce. Now, there is a big discussion around how cranberry sauce should be served. And when you start looking at from scratch recipes and you look up different components of a Thanksgiving meal, I feel like the recipe that is often suggested for homemade cranberry sauce is a whole kind of chutney type sauce where you cook down whole cranberries in some orange juice and you serve it that way without any added sugar. Now, granted, that's good. I actually really like that type of sauce. I'll throw the recipe in a PDF if you want something like that, if you're cutting out sugar and you're wanting to do that. However, my family doesn't really bite on that. They are incredibly fond of that cylindrical can shape sauce that you slice along the notches from the can. And in fact, if I were to take that away from them, they would act like I had taken away Thanksgiving itself and everything good about it. So I went on a mission to find an alternative, because I went to the grocery store, and as I was looking for canned cranberry sauce that were maybe a little bit better in ingredients, I couldn't find a single one at the grocery store that did not have high fructose corn syrup as one of the top 2 ingredients, which I'm really not about that. I don't buy that any other time during the rest of the year, so I don't really want to make an exception and buy it for Thanksgiving, if at all avoidable. So today I'm going to show you how I have figured out how to make homemade jellied cranberry sauce, which can be cut in those nice round slices. So right here I have 3 simple ingredients. I'm going to be doubling this recipe, but the PDF is for a single recipe. Feel free to multiply it by however many times you need. Here I've got whole cranberries. These have been washed. I have orange juice and white sugar. You can use frozen cranberries for this recipe. I have only used fresh, but if you use frozen ones, you might just have to cook it a little bit longer because the higher water content to get it to set up. This particular recipe with these ingredients does not require pectin for it to gel. It wouldn't hurt to put pectin in it, but I haven't. I've had positive results with just this. I am using just like a store-bought orange juice. You could fresh squeeze it and throw some zest in here if you wanted to be extra. I'm sure that would be lovely. And this is also really great if you want to add some spices, like throw some cinnamon sticks here on the front end, maybe some whole cloves, some nutmeg. I think that would be really, really good. But again, I'm not making this for an adventurous palate. I'm making this in place of canned cranberry sauce. And so if I get too adventurous with this, it will just show that I didn't understand the assignment. So I'm gonna keep it simple, but I encourage you, if you want to get adventurous here, you totally could. All right, so I'm going to put a large pan. Normally you could do this if you were just doing a single recipe in like a smallish saucepan, but since I am multiplying it, I'm going to go with this larger stock pot. I'm going to put this on medium-low heat. I want to add my cranberries. That's 2 bags of cranberries. This is 2 cups of white sugar. You could use brown sugar or turbinado sugar here. I think that would make a more robust flavor, but that's not my goal today. And here I have 1 cup of orange juice. If for some reason you have an issue with oranges, this works just fine with water. I just really like the orange flavor, and though I'm trying to keep it mostly simple, I'm not going to concede on this because I think it makes it that much better. Again, this is a double recipe, but I will put the printable PDF in the show notes. So this is over medium-low heat. While I wait for all of these berries to pop and for this sugar and orange juice to essentially form a nice boiling syrup that's going to pop these berries, I'm just going to give it a nice stir every few minutes to make sure that the berries on the bottom of the pan aren't getting burned while the top ones aren't getting submerged. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes since I put my berries in the pan with the other ingredients, and I stirred it just about every minute or 2. When the berries start popping, you'll hear it, and it's basically the skins of the berries literally start to split because of the heat. And after about 10 minutes, we have this nice thick looking sauce, as you can see here. If you are not looking for the jellied texture, you can stop right here. Put this in a bowl, stick it in the fridge, and let it cool off. It'll probably be somewhat gelled. It'll have whole chunks in it of berries. So if you like this texture, this can be it for you. However, I want this to turn into a jelly. So I'm going to cook it down just a little bit more, stirring it continuously. I would say that this does well if you cook it another 5 minutes or so. I've been stirring it here for a couple minutes. One thing you can do is take a spoon and sort of scrape. You can do this with your finger, but I'm trying to be professional because I'm making a video. You can kind of start scraping and really see what sort of texture you're dealing with. And so I don't know how well this is going to convey, but you can really see that this is starting to gel up some. You can see that there. The longer you cook this, the more firm that gel is going to become, but we don't want to go too long because we have to push this through a sieve, and I don't want it to get too thick. I would say mine's really about done with what I just showed you guys. You can also just kind of see it on the spoon. I can scrape it off, and it's not like running down the spoon. You can see it's sort of holding its form. So that tells me this is gelled enough. So at this point you have two options. If you have an immersion blender, you could go ahead and blend this as it is and decide that it's good enough. You can mash it with a potato masher. When I do these videos, although I have a very well-stocked kitchen with lots of really cool gadgets and tools, I like to kind of keep it simple to show you that you can. You can mash this, and if you're not looking for a perfectly smooth jelly, you could go ahead and pour this into your jars and put it in the fridge and cool it. And it would gel up, and it would be relatively smooth. However, since again I'm trying to emulate a natural version of that store-bought canned jelly, I'm going to run it through a sieve, because if my kids see a single stem or skin in their jam, they're going to know what's up. So I'm going to fully commit here and sieve this, even though it's going to make more dishes to wash. I have a heat-proof bowl, a fine mesh sieve, and my cranberry sauce. Okay, I'm going to pour this into the sieve over the bowl. And then I'm going to proceed to mash this down through the sieve. Basically, this is achieved by just pressing this up against the walls of the sieve. This is slow going. You can let it sit for a little while and drain through naturally, but you are going to have to push it down some. A rubber spatula works well for this, but more than anything, a lot of patience and knowing that it's going to take a while. As you mash your cranberries through the sieve, make sure that you pause every few minutes and scrape the outer edges, because they'll actually block the gel from coming through, and then proceed to mash more. 4 hours later. I'm joking, it hasn't been 4 hours, but I'm impatient sometimes when I'm doing kitchen stuff. It's been like 10 minutes. I still actually have some more to press out here, but my bowl is getting kind of full and I'm sort of working against myself. So I'm gonna go ahead and bottle this. So you could just put your strained cranberry mixture into like a bowl or something to put in the fridge to gel up, which would be fine. It would still be usable. You could scoop it out with a spoon. However, again, we're going for a very specific product here. We need it to be in the shape of a cylinder, or else it will be identified as an imposter. So I have these pint mason jars. We want to do mason jars that the mouth is as wide as the side, so a wide mouth mason jar of any size would be fine. However, I like these pints because I get a nice smooth cylinder that I can scoop out. You know, it can hold its shape. So I'm going to take this and put it into this jar. Now, to make sure that I don't have any really large air bubbles, I can just shake this, kind of work out any air bubbles with a knife. This needs to go in the refrigerator for at least a few hours. You just want to make sure that it's fully set. I like to make sure I make it at the latest, like Thanksgiving morning, but you can make it up to a week ahead of time and have it in your fridge. It's not going to have any problem with the amount of sugar that it has in it. And then once it is nice and chilled, it will set up, and you can actually loosen it by running a knife along the edge and slide it out, maintaining its shape, and you can slice it and get nice little rounds of smooth, sweet cranberry sauce without any ingredients in it that are chemically processed. I'm going to sieve out the rest of this because I doubled this recipe. I should have at least 2 1-cup jars. They'll probably end up being more like close to 3. I don't know that it'll do a full 3. One recipe of this makes about 1.5 cups. You could can this. Being a jam, I would say, this isn't just me, shot at the dark. Do look it up if you want to be like a stickler on canning times, but the time that you water bath, like the approved time to water bath can jellies, is 5 minutes, and so this would, I believe, fall into that range. If you water bath this for 5 minutes, it would make it shelf stable. I don't usually do that just because this is not something that we very commonly eat. This is definitely a side for Thanksgiving dinners, though it wouldn't be a bad idea, especially this time of year whenever whole cranberries are so readily available at the store. All right, I'm gonna stick this in the fridge, sieve out the rest of these, and then I will see you guys when it's slicing time. All right, my cranberry sauce has been in the fridge for a few hours now, and I'm going to see if I can get it out of this jar, and we'll see if it is sliceable, if it passes the test. All right, so I'm just working along the sides here to unstick it. If it will not come out easily, holding the shape, you can run it under some hot water. Don't go too long though, because you don't want to melt anything. And there we have it, friends, the perfectly sliceable texture. Smooth, no chunks. All right, I've got a taste tester that has showed up to taste his favorite thing. You ready?
Tastes like cranberry sauce.
Hey, I'll take that as a win.
Tastes like any old cranberry sauce.
Any old cranberry sauce. There, we've got it. That's what I was going for. Any old cranberry sauce. All right, guys. PDF link down below. I hope you enjoy. Happy Thanksgiving. What do we say?
We bless you until next time.
We bless you until next time.